The We Are Wakefield podcast is brought to you in partnership with Podmatic. Welcome to the We Are Wakefield podcast. I'm here today with Antony from Kraft Media and Chris from Chris Whittam Photography. If you're a regular at We Are Wakefield, you will have seen my happy snappers here who sort of do a bit of a tag team for me, don't you guys, at the We Are Wakefield events. So it's great to get you from behind the cameras and let people learn a little bit more about you today. So I want to talk about your journeys, how you've got to where you are today, what got you into photography. So we'll start with you, Antony. So
I knew you'd pick on me first.
Sorry, well, you're furthest away and I work towards myself. That's just how I work.
At least I've got all the answers.
It's a bit more time to get some ammunition.
Yeah,
going,
that's it. So what's your journey been? I mean, what's your background? When did you start getting into photography?
So I accidentally fell into photography, really, and it was about 15 years ago, and it was when Ruby was born, and I had this idea that I wanted to go on a photography course, so I could learn to take nice photos of her as she grew up. Yeah. And then that kind of spiraled, really. That became a job. I don't know how.
Yeah. So did it start as more of a hobby then? So
yeah,
what were you doing at the time?
Yeah, so here we go.
Yeah, here we go. This is it. This is what I'm wanting to get out of you, see. That's it.
So I have an equine background. So I've worked with horses since I was 16, and I don't think a lot of people realise that. And people do seem to want to and have to drag that out of me now. Yeah. Whereas it used to be the thing I spoke about. It's a thing that I don't speak about too much now. So yeah, I've been a horse dentist for many years.
You see, that's just bizarre. Whenever I say that to anybody, well, you know, Antony's a horse dentist, they kind of go, what? How random? How did you get into horse dentistry?
Yeah. Well, that's me all over, Claire. Random.
Yeah, it is, yeah, random. That's why we get on.
Yeah. So all my family are into horses. They have a ride or work with horses in some capacity. So got to 18, didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life. So I started working with horses, and my career kind of went on from there, to the point I ended up training as a horse dentist. So I've been doing horses' teeth for 25 years. Right. Yeah. So that's taken me all over the world. Really? A very, very interesting career. But I kind of knew off the bat of doing that it wasn't potentially a job for life. It's hard work.
Right. Is it physically demanding?
It's very physically demanding. But, you know, when you're around horses, you do realise you can get injured. And it can come like that. And my concern was, if I was to get injured, what would I do? Yeah. I knew that the day after, I would not be able to do horse dentistry anymore. So, you know, what do you do? And I didn't want to be that old man that I would see coming on and doing horses' teeth at 60-year-old. Right. You know, I knew that the career, it wouldn't last me out, basically. So I needed to think of a plan B. So I started taking pictures of horses because that seemed like a natural step, really, working in the equine industry. And that spiraled into then going into horse shows and taking pictures of people competing at horse shows. And then I got into printing on site. So I would go to horse shows, we'd take the pictures, and you would be able to buy them on the day, and then. And that continued. And then I then saw an advert in the Wakefield Express. This was probably about 10, 12 years ago now. And it was a famous boxer was coming to Castleford, Ricky Hatton.
Oh, really?
So, world-famous boxer Ricky Hatton is coming to Castleford. I'm like, what?
It's a bit random, isn't it?
Really
what
random.
Was he doing in Castleford?
Yeah. So, it was at the Civic Centre.
Yes.
I remember it.
I know it well.
I remember it like it was yesterday. So, I saw the advert in the paper, and like I do, I thought, I'm going to ring this guy and see if he needs a photographer. Because I could print on site live, and that seemed to work with the theme of what they were doing.
So, who were you ringing?
So I rang the promoter, who I'd seen was advertising his event with Ricky Hatton in the newspaper. Okay. And I thought, I'll see if he needs a photographer. So like I do, gave him a ring. And it just so happened this was his second event. And he said, I do actually need a photographer. I said, well, you know, I can print on site as well live. So, you know, these pictures, these meet and greet pictures, I can do them instantly. Oh, great. You know, we'll can you come and do it? So Ricky Hatton was my first ever event, and we did it, and it was successful. Turned out that he knew all these other promoters in the country, and that it was you need to use this guy, he can print on site, and he can do this for you. So that became a thing, and for the last 12 years I've been doing meet and greet photography on site for Tyson Fury, Floyd Mayweather, Anthony Joshua, Eric Cantona just done a tour, Mike Tyson. So pretty much every boxer on the planet I've ended up working with, and a lot of ex-footballers, and it's been good. Worked on so many good things, been all around the country, and really
But
really
you've got some
enjoyed it.
tales to tell.
I have got some tales to tell. Probably not going to share them with you.
Maybe
maybe we can.
Maybe off mic.
Maybe
we'll
off
catch
mic.
up on that. Yeah.
So that's what I've done.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? Because you see all these things. I mean, obviously, I follow you on social media, and it's a different sporting star every other week, isn't it? So you've really been kept busy with that.
No, it has, and it's been good. But I think, there has been a bit of a downturn on events globally.
Right. Is that for any particular reason? Or?
I do think that financially people just don't have the money to spend that they did. Tickets for events can be a considerable amount of money.
Yeah.
I think the acts can be a lot of money now. So obviously you buy the act, and then you've got to sell X amount of tickets to make it work. So I would say over the last 12 to 18 months there's been a bit of a downturn on that side of my business.
Right.
And also, for any boxing fans out there, you will also realise that all the boxing went to Saudi.
Right.
So it's been all eyes on Saudi for the last 18 months. Your Tyson Fury, all the big names have been going out there and fighting, really. So inside the ring is not something that I deal with. It's external to the ring that I've been doing. So it's quietened off for me in the event sector, I would say. But the positive of that is it's allowed me to use that time to push more into an area that I've been wanting to, and that's video. Right. So for the last 18 months I've been pushing forward with the video side of the business. Got back qualified with the drone stuff that I used to do 10 years ago, but then didn't have time to continue with that because of the meet and greet events. So we're back doing that and pushing forward with that, and quite excited for that. It's another arm of the business that I can promote myself to, and help other businesses promote their business.
Absolutely, and we'll come back to that.
Absolutely, yeah.
So Chris.
Hello.
Hello. Are you okay?
Yes, thank you. You?
Good, I'm well, thank you. Don't make me laugh. See, this is meant to be a serious discussion. You two just make me want. You just keep making me laugh. Okay, so Chris, tell us about Chris Whittam. So how did Chris Whittam get into photography? Because I know that you had another career before photography, didn't you?
Yeah.
So what were you doing before?
So my background's always been in the motor trade since I was 16. I left school and went to Volkswagen College to be a automotive technician. Right. So I qualified. Well, I actually started with Volkswagen and ended up finishing my apprenticeship with Audi. So I'm a fully qualified Audi technician. Right. And then I just continued through in the motor trade then. So I've worked with Volkswagen, Audi, Ferrari, Maserati, Mercedes-Benz and Tesla. Wow. So I've been all around the premium car sort of bits and bobs, but I absolutely hated it. Right. I was always creative. So at school I took art and graphics, but my careers advisor was like, "Oh, what do you like?" I was like, "Well, I like cars." They were like, "Oh, why don't you be a mechanic then?" I was like, "Oh, right, okay." So it was a bit of a pull.
Kind of pushed into it a little bit reluctantly.
Yeah, but if you were to actually get to know me and stuff, then you would have always seen that I'm quite a creative person and quite outdoorsy and stuff like that. So it really wasn't the job for me. I was really miserable. I wasn't happy at all. And I left Ferrari. I just quit. Just done. And I went travelling.
Oh, where did you go?
Australia and New Zealand.
Amazing.
So I just booked a one-way ticket, got a working visa. Mm-hmm. And while I was out there, met up with some family and stuff like that. And both my uncle who lives in America and auntie who lives in New Zealand both use and enjoy photography. Right. On like quite a high amateur level. So they were letting me, and I took quite an interest when they had the cameras there, and I was just getting to like mess about with the proper cameras and stuff like that, and I had my little point and shoot. But I was, before everybody had a camera phone, I was always the lad that went on the night out with an actual point and shoot camera. I was the only lad who did it.
Right.
It were always the last thing, had it in their handbags, but I always had a little point and shoot. So, but I when I was in New Zealand and we hired a camper van, and I just couldn't stop taking pictures. And then my uncle was like, "Chris, you really seem to be buzzing off this. Like, you've got a bit of an eye for it." I was like, "Yeah, I think I really do actually enjoy it." So then when I got home, I bought a camera. I bought a Canon 550D on tick because I couldn't afford it. And then that were it. I were doing bits and bobs outside of work. And then just sampling loads of things, just like saying, "Oh, I'll take pictures of your dogs. I'll take pictures of your wedding or your christening and stuff like that," and just kind of work out, and all for free, like trying to work out what it was that I really enjoyed to do. Dabbled in a bit of everything really, cars and everything, but I really found that when it all came back through it was always the corporate stuff that I actually really enjoyed doing. Because the pressure of weddings and stuff like that was so high for me.
I can imagine, yeah.
So yeah, and then in lockdown, redundancies came on offer at Mercedes where I was a technician, and there was 4 technicians at the level that I was at, and 2 of us had to go. So because I already had a little bit of photography behind me and what I always wanted to do, I took the redundancy, took the money, bought my 70-200 lens, and started a business in September 2020. Probably one of the worst times to start a business.
But quite a few
COVID.
Businesses were born from COVID, weren't they? A lot of people that you speak to decided that was the time for them to go alone, I think, and take advantage of the situation.
And I think in the COVID times as well, I think a lot of people kind of started to realise what's really important to them as well, like time and the outdoors, and how everyone started to go on these walks that they could do and stuff like that, and just having freedom and time and stuff. And I think a lot of people kind of woke up to a lot of, well, I certainly did, to the reality that going to work every single day in a job you don't like is not what I wanted to continue to do. So I saw this opportunity and was like, do you know what have I got to lose? Like, I've absolutely no to lose. If I don't like it, I've still got my qualification. If it don't work, I've still got my qualification.
You can go back to that.
I'll go and work a bar. It doesn't matter. Like, I'll do something to make some money, but sod it, let's do it. So I did. And it's just been absolutely crazy. It's coming up to 5 years now of the business, and it's just, I just can't even get over it. And sometimes I have to just stop and remind myself to be grateful for everything that I've got from making that one decision at that time. It totally changed my life and my son's life, all for the positive. It's amazing.
And you've dabbled a little bit in, you've just done a camper van, haven't you? So you've just converted a van into a camper van. So it's all about this freedom, I suppose, isn't it? This freedom of being able to work for yourself and make decisions and get on the open road if you want to. Do you find that the flexibility of being self-employed really works for you?
Yeah, hugely. It's everything to me. Like, I was a pretty bad employee, to be fair. I was like, always got something to say, and it should be this way and it should be that way.
A bit like that,
I'm pretty much unemployable.
Yeah.
And especially when you've already worked for yourself. Yeah.
We're all nodding, aren't we?
Yeah, I'm awful. Like, so like, it is everything to me. And the reason I built the van is I'm a single bloke who's divorced, can't get a mortgage, just started a business. What can I do? How can I get some freedom?
Yeah.
So I thought, do you know what? Let's buy a van. And I've always wanted to do it. And the option was, do I save like crazy and try and get a deposit and try and scrape through and get a mortgage, or do I just think, well, do you know what, I'm just going to do this? So I went for the van.
Yeah.
Because it was the most fun. So I bought an XDPD van for £4,500 and stripped it all out, built it all out. It's now absolutely insanely kitted out. It's better than some houses that I've been in. It's got a queen size bed, a single bed for my son. It's got Starlink internet. It's got a 4K TV. It's got an Xbox. It's got an air fryer. It's got a toilet, a shower. It's got Bluetooth combi boiler in it.
Wow.
I'll get one myself.
It's got solar panels. It's got a sunbathing and a stargazing thing on the roof.
Really?
Yeah, and it's got a skylight over my bed, so I can watch the stars from my bed.
And did you mention the super duper coffee machine?
Yeah, it's now got a bean to cup coffee machine in it,
Has it really?
and a Hotel Chocolat velvetizer.
That's the creme de la
chocolate
creme
on a
gadgets,
night.
isn't it? Isn't it? Amazing. So
Never had any complaints.
You're quite the entrepreneurs, both of you, aren't you? Because you've both set up. I mean, have you ever worked for anyone else, Antony? What, the horse dentistry, was that a self-employed basis?
I have pretty much been self-employed since I was 18.
Right.
I've had one job in that time where I've worked for somebody. So I went to Bishop Burton College and I spent 3 years there, and wouldn't believe so, but I actually graduated in 99, having left school with no qualifications.
Right.
And then got this idea that this lecturing malarkey looks cushy, looks a cushy job.
Right.
So I'm going to do that. So I did. So I got a job lecturing horse studies in Brooksby College in Leicestershire for a year.
Right.
That's how long my employment lasted. So that was in 2000, and it was a little bit of a bad time because foot and mouth, don't know if you remember, foot and mouth was going on at that time.
Yeah.
And it kind of caused a lot of problems at the college because they had sheep and cattle and all sorts on there. But anyway, long story short, my employment was 12 months.
It was brief.
It just wasn't for me.
Yeah.
Just was not for me.
Why do you think that is then? What do you think in your
now.
in your character, shall we say, makes you want that freedom of being employed? Is it because you don't want to answer to anyone else, or is it because you're a bit of a free spirit and you want to make your own decisions? What is it, do you think, that drives someone to go down that route? Because it's not always, it's not always roses, is it? It can be really tricky and challenging, can't it? We all know that. Mm-hmm. So what do you think makes you so comfortable in being self-employed rather than being in an employment situation?
Yeah, I think now, knowing what I know now, it's a control thing. Yeah. It's about being in control of everything.
Right.
Rather than somebody else being in control of you. And not everybody might know this, but I got diagnosed with ADHD just gone December.
Right.
Literally, 3 months ago, which was a massive thing. It came out of nowhere. I didn't go looking for it.
How did it come about then? Because a lot of people now are going for those diagnoses, aren't they, where they feel that there's something not quite, I won't say not quite right, but something where they feel that they may need some support with something. So how did it come about for you?
Yeah, I think it's a tricky thing at the moment because everybody seems to want to be diagnosed with something, don't they? It's you've got to be careful that you don't go looking for something. But I didn't. I've got to 50 years old and it just never entered my brain. So Ruby, my daughter, is 16 now and just about to do her GCSEs, and I'm going to be honest, she's been struggling at school for the last 2 years.
Right.
Not really been able to put a finger on why. But it's just like a mirror image of me. I really struggled at school. Couldn't do it, didn't want to do it, had no interest in it.
Yeah.
Left school with no qualifications. Hope she's not watching this.
We won't tell her.
So basically, I got the paperwork for her because trying to get a diagnosis takes forever through the NHS, and I wasn't prepared to wait that long, especially when she's got GCSEs coming up. So I did it privately and paid for it. I basically got all the paperwork in front of me to have a look through for her, and I ticked every box.
Right.
I ticked every box, and then got a little bit sceptical, thinking, well, everybody might tick the box. So I gave them to my wife. She ticked no boxes really, and I gave them to my mum. She ticked no boxes really. And then I said to my mum, fill it in on behalf of me, and she again ticked every box.
Really?
So I went, got tested, full-blown ADHD, which now makes so much sense into my character, how I am, why I need to be self-employed, why I can't be employed. So yeah, and the amount of people I've told and they've gone, of course you have.
Right.
And I go, well, why didn't you tell me? Literally everybody I've said have gone, of course you've got ADHD.
Right. But I mean, who's an expert?
Never.
I mean, are these people experts?
They're not experts,
I suppose,
but they're right.
Maybe they are. Yeah. But I mean, what is it in your character then that you feel are the ADHD traits?
Yeah, constantly can't sit still. Always looking for the next thing. I'm a fidget. I'm into everything. As a kid, I couldn't stick to one thing. I'd be karate one week, get the suit. I'm done with that now. What can I do next? You know, I'm at Scouts. I'm at Air Cadets. I'm at Army Cadets. I'm playing rugby. I'm doing triathlon now. And there's a typical example. I go and do a triathlon. Can't really swim. Join the Wakefield Triathlon Club. I'm going to do a triathlon. I do a triathlon. Next minute, all right, okay. 2 years down the line, I'm representing GB and age group because I just cannot stop. The focus takes over.
You get quite obsessed with things.
It's an obsessive thing, yeah.
Right.
Anything I get into, I get obsessed with, yeah.
Right.
And it's
that's interesting.
Same with photography, same with, the videography. But it's because once I start it, I have to be the best.
Right.
I want to be the best I can.
So you get hyper-focused on things. Because when we first met, you owned a coffee shop in Wakefield. So
again, this is another trait.
Yeah, and that's how we first came into contact. I was in a role at Wakefield Council, and that's when we first met, wasn't it? So it's all about constantly looking for a new challenge, maybe, is it?
Yeah, and Chris is laughing because Chris is the same, and I'm sure he'll go on to tell you his.
I'm actually laughing because I'm just thinking about how me and you met.
Go on then, Chris. You tell us the story.
I met Antony in a man's changing room.
Really?
Yeah.
Join us for the West Yorkshire Conference on 9th of July at Pontefract Racecourse. Head over to wearewakefield.org.uk/events for more information. Is this for air?
Yeah.
Okay.
Were we closed? I can't remember. Were we closed?
Mostly, hopefully. At that point.
Don't know if I feel like I'm imposing on this.
It was in Bannatyne's changing rooms.
Right, okay. So you were at the gym.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
And had you not... I mean, was this before you met
this was like 15 years ago, maybe even longer, was it?
Yeah, a long time ago.
I didn't realise that you knew each other before.
Of each other a long time.
Right.
Yeah,
Your reputations precede you. Was that it? And is that because of photography or?
No.
I wasn't doing it then. I was dabbling. But...
I was, and we did have discussions about photography a little bit, really. But no, Chris was involved with Herbal Life at the time.
Oh, really?
Heavily, yeah, massively.
So again then, what were you, a Herbal Life seller? Is that the right?
Independent distributor, yeah.
Independent
member, so we became further on, yeah.
So, interesting then, I didn't know this. So again, you've always been looking for different avenues for...
Well, I actually got involved with the business for my, at the time, wife. Because she was attacked in an unprovoked attack and was left disabled. She got stabbed 5 times in her back.
Oh my goodness. And when was that?
About 15 years ago.
Right.
So she couldn't work. She was studying to be a mental health nurse at Leeds Uni, and then she couldn't work. And then when I was working at Audi, I bumped into a girl who I used to know called Emma, and she was talking to me. I was telling her what had happened, and she's like, oh, I might have something that she could do. So I brought Emma to see her, and we got involved, and I quickly started to get really into it, and we quickly moved up the ranks, started earning a lot of money really quickly, ended up in the top 25% in Europe.
Right.
Went all over Europe with it. It was crazy. We earned some crazy money. I quit my job, and we both did it. So I was fully Herbalifed up in the changing rooms one, and I think Antony came over. You might remember better than me, but
what do you mean by fully Herbal Life?
I had my bottles, I had my shaker, I had my t-shirts, I had my shorts, I had my socks, my pants on.
But Isaac's thinking, what is going on?
He was like, I'm sure he just came over and went, what's this? And so we got chatting, and then didn't you look at it for Steph?
It was, yeah. It was for Ruby's mum, yeah. I thought it'd be a good thing for her to do, and then quickly took over that as well.
Did you?
It's true.
I can imagine that you two are really difficult to live with.
That's why I'm divorced.
Well, we all are. So, you know, nobody can judge.
Do you know what it is, though? I mentioned the word control, and it isn't about controlling people. It's about controlling the situation.
Right.
And I think what I've realised over the 50 years is that if I am in control of a situation, my brain is happy. It's content. If the situation is out of control, I'm struggling.
Right.
So by me taking charge, keeps that scenario in control. So it's not controlling people as such, it's scenarios. And I think that's why I can't be employed, because everything's out of your control.
Because you don't feel like you're in control of the situation. And are you the same then, Chris? Is that how you felt when you were employed?
No, actually. Mine's about freedom.
Right.
I feel trapped in a job.
Do you?
Yeah, which is also why I'm scared of getting a mortgage.
Right.
Because I'll feel trapped.
Right.
And I want to feel free, like I can make decisions and do whatever I want to do when I want to do them.
I feel like I'm going to turn into your therapy.
I've already got one, but you can have another as well if you want.
Shall we have a little chat? Okay.
So it's about freedom
a fear
for me.
Of commitment.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. All right.
Here
we go. She's getting deep.
This is turning into a therapy session. I know it's great. It's great.
Moving on.
No, so it is. It's that lack of commitment and being tied into something, then, isn't it?
But also to echo what Antony was saying is, when I am doing something, I am at it like crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't stop.
I mean, we've not touched on some of the really high-profile contracts you've had recently. Can you talk about those? Can you mention some?
Yeah, I can mention them all.
Some names, yeah. Just tell us about what you've been up to lately, because it's really interesting. Some real high street names, some well-known brand names there.
I've been really, really fortunate to have the opportunity to work with some amazing, really high-profile names, as you say, such as Battersea Dogs Home, Ben Sherman, WWE, Hilton Hotels. I can't even remember everybody. There's like loads. It's unreal. Oh, Sagres Beer, Kingfisher Beer, Sapporo Beer. So they're all owned by the Kingfisher Beer Group, and I'm the photographer for all of them.
Wow.
So they keep me very busy. And it's just crazy. Like, just because back in 2020, I was going through some really, really horrible stuff, and it's really, sometimes I just stop and I get quite emotional to think that no matter what, no matter who tries to drag you down, destroy your life and ruin you, if you've got just a little bit of hope and a little bit of get up and go, you really can change your life around. And going on 5 years now, my life is totally different to what it used to be, and I'm just so grateful for it. And I do get a bit
emotion.
Yeah, a little bit sometimes, yeah.
But
I don't really know what I've done.
Would you say that work's kind of been a bit of a saviour then? Because I know that you don't make any secret about talking about you've had some mental health battles. Do you think that work's really your saviour with that then?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely. So in my mind and in my life, I see my life as 3 pillars. So I have work, family as in like my son and my close family, and then my own intimate relationships. So work is a really strong pillar for me. And if one of those 3 are crumbling or non-existent, then I find myself in some turmoil. Okay. Fortunately, my pillar of family has been really strong through everything all the time, which has really helped. So that's mainly my main centre column, which has held everything together, including me.
That's the foundation of it all, then.
Supported me with the business and supported me with helping. Sometimes I haven't got childcare and stuff like that because I haven't got a partner, so it's just my mum and dad will help out and look after Leo for me. So then I can go ahead and build this business, and then this business, I've just given it everything. Go. Learn as much as I can. Say yes to everything if it's viable, and then worry about the logistics of it later. I think that's just been the biggest thing about it all, and that's why if that's working, and it is working, but I also think sometimes, well, what else was I going to do? Because if I didn't do that, I'd have just ended up back miserable again, and I'd just be going around in this spiral that I see so many people on the treadmill of working and stuff like that, and I was just existing, and yeah, I just decided that's it. I've had enough. I'm done, because I'd already had a taste with the Herbal Life of being self-employed.
Yeah.
And I knew that there was a way to take your kid to school every day and pick them up. Yeah. And just the little things like that. Like, it's just outstanding. It's unreal. Taking a holiday without being scared of putting an holiday form in and worried that somebody else has taken that day off. Like, nobody wants to live like that.
Well, again, it's being in control of your own life to an extent, in it. But I mean, being self-employed comes with its challenges as well. Absolutely. So I mean, what have your biggest challenges been about being self-employed? I'll come back to you, Antony, and then I'll ask you, Chris. So what do you think that the biggest challenges you face about being this entrepreneur that's kind of moving around, and you've got these amazing careers that you're running in parallel, really? I mean, that must present challenges in itself, does it?
Yeah, it definitely has done over the years, and I think when you're younger, you wear many hats and it just bounces off you constantly. You can run multiple companies and keep moving and going forward. I'm 50 now, which isn't old by any means. It
definitely is not old, Antony. No, it isn't.
But I would say that I am noticing a difference now, that when you wear multiple hats, it's not quite as easy as it used to be.
In what way? Energy?
I think absolutely energy. Yeah, energy. Having the energy to just keep going. And, people would say to Lisa when I was going in and out of craft, he never stops, does he? He never stops, and that'd be working, Ruby, training, and eventually something has to give, doesn't it? And you have to be really, really careful, because otherwise you just wear yourself out.
Yeah, I mean, I do get exhausted just watching you with everything that you do. I mean, you're constantly, having these sort of physical challenges with exercise that, you put yourself through, like you say, the triathlons, and you seem to excel in everything you do. That in itself, do you put pressure on yourself that you have to be the very best you can be in everything that you do?
Yeah. And I've not realised that until recently. It's just something I've done.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, people have said to me in the past, nothing's ever good enough, is it?
Right.
And I've never really thought about it. But they're right, it's not.
That other people do, or that you do. You don't think that you're...
They think that I'm never happy.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm just constantly having to be the best, and it's never good enough.
Right.
And yeah, I kind of understand that now. I can't just do something and it be average. I can't stop until it is the best. And I will always pick up peers along the way, and if I start something, I'll look at who is the best.
Yeah.
And I'm straight away, I'll hook up with them on LinkedIn or Instagram or wherever, and I will follow them, and that's who I will aspire to. And it's almost I can't stop until I get to that level, and that can become quite exhausting mentally, and then physically it does have its repercussions. Yeah. Sure.
And what would you say, Chris, about the challenges of working for yourself? Because you've obviously said all these things that are amazing about it, but it does come with its challenges, doesn't it? Everybody who runs a business has something that's kind of their nemesis, something that they find the most challenging about what they do.
I think because I'm like similar to Antony, it's just a one-man thing. It's like you said, the wearing of many hats. Yeah. It's I'm the marketing manager, I'm the accountant, I'm driver, I'm logistics organizer, do you know what I mean? So I'm doing everything, and that is so hard because all those things are not my bag. So sometimes I let it go a little bit too much, and whether that my accountant on, why ain't you done your zero, and then I hadn't posted on social media for ages, and I just think that the spinning the plates of a business when it's just you and you haven't got people to do things for you, that is, but I'm exactly the same as Antony, and I'm in therapy, and I've been diagnosed as having this thing called unrelenting standards. Right. And I put myself absolutely through the ringer. Nothing is ever good enough for me. Like, it always has to be better, and I chastise myself crazy about stuff, no matter how successful and no matter how many good clients I get or how much money goes through the bank, it's never enough. Should always be more.
Right. And
that is really hard to deal with because, like you say, it's mentally, physically exhausting. But saying that, it's all worth it. It is so worth it.
You wouldn't change it?
I wouldn't, never, no.
Absolutely. And I think that's how most entrepreneurs are wired up though.
Yeah.
And that's why they will become successful because of those same traits, isn't it?
Yeah, you've got to have that passion and that energy and that enthusiasm and that want to do constantly better and achieve, haven't you? Or what's the point, really?
Exactly, yeah. All or nothing.
So you two have done quite a lot of collaborating over the last 18 months, would you say? Something like that?
Yeah.
It's been really interesting to see, and it's been really lovely to see from my perspective, because what we talk about, We Are Wakefield, all the time is collaboration. And we also point out that at We Are Wakefield, the model that it is, there will be competition in the room.
Mm-hmm.
And I often use yourselves as an example of this now, because I think it's great to see how you've supported each other, how you've come together. You could have been competition at other sides of the room, but like I said at the beginning, you're kind of my photography tag team. You cover the events for me and for We Are Wakefield, and we've had some amazing images over the last couple of years of events that you've covered. You've worked together on the Business Awards, and I've seen that you've worked together on some massive projects together as well. I mean, it wasn't that long ago you were with Alisha Dixon working together, and it was all over the socials. That was great to see. So how did it come about that you actually started working together then?
Do you want to say this?
No, you can.
Well, I can talk about the Alisha Dixon one.
Yeah, go for the Alisha Dixon.
How that came about.
The Alisha Dixon one was for Queen Ethelberga's school in York.
Oh, really? Right, okay.
Fancy school, dead nice. And somebody who I met on the internet messaged me and said, would you be interested in coming and doing this event? I was like, yeah. She's like, can you do on-site printing? I'm like, no. But I know somebody who can.
A man who can.
Exactly.
Amazing.
So they had what's called the speech day, and they asked Alisha to come in, and so I did the roving photography, event photography, like what you'd see me do at We Are Wakefield, and Antony came with his printers and did the shots of the students that were graduating with her.
They were graduating,
with Alisha, and we've got this job again this year, and with Anthony Hamilton, Lewis Hamilton's brother, this year at Queen Ethelberga's next month, innit? Yeah. So we're doing it again, same bag, and they loved it, and they were like, right, let's do it exactly the same again. So we've agreed the contracts, and it's happening next month. Anthony Hamilton.
Looking forward to it. And what a day as well.
Yeah, it was mega, wasn't it?
I mean, it did help because the sun was shining.
So sunny.
But it was a beautiful day, and how good were those packed lunches?
I was just about to say the snack was bang on.
Does it always come down to the food? That's how I judge everything.
Yeah, it was proper fancy, wasn't it?
Yeah,
bit posh
we got
for
these
me,
bags, packed lunches, and we sat outside in the glorious sunshine, and we ate as lunch, didn't we? And do you know what? What's sometimes nice is you just have these days where just everything's just so chilled out, no stress.
Yeah.
Chris was doing his thing, I was doing my thing. It was just a nice day, wasn't it? And we were getting paid to be there as well.
Yeah.
Win-win.
Yeah,
it sounds like you make a really good team.
Yeah.
Do you know what, Claire? And that is the key. It's about collaborating, but it's about a team. And I do think that Chris and I work together so well. We've got a great skill set, albeit we're both photographers. We both know that we can trust each other. We can trust each other to deliver, which is really, really important to a client, isn't it?
I suppose you've got to deliver to each other's standards. And from what we've already talked about, those standards are really high.
Correct. Yeah. So to trust each other is a big thing.
Absolutely.
To be able to trust somebody else.
Yeah.
To deliver. But also, you talked about collaborating together when you are doing the same thing. And you have to have that trust. That trust that you can take somebody to a client of yours and them not try to steal your client, which sounds ridiculous, but it happens.
Of course it
Being
does. I
at
mean,
events,
that's the main fear with competition, isn't
absolutely.
it? Yeah.
Suddenly you've taken a photographer and they're giving their cards out. So unprofessional. And you would hope that the client that they're trying to give it to would see that straight away and be turned off. But people do get work through that, you know, and it's wrong.
Yeah.
But I know that if I take Chris to an event, I can just walk away and not even think about him. And I would hope that.
But you do anyway. He thinks about me anyway.
Aww.
In a loving, caring way.
Oh, you guys. You're so sweet.
But no, I've also done a couple of events, Unsung Heroes again last year. There were awards where I've known that ideally I could do with a second photographer. And Chris has been my go-to instantly because I know I don't have to worry about him. He will deliver the pictures just like I would want them. And that's great. Chris has also worked with me on some of the celebrity events I've been to as well, which have been quite keen as a photographer for me as well. Because sometimes you just, as much as you want to be, you can't be in two places at once. So that's been really good, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's good.
Did you come to Cantonar?
No.
Derek Cantonar?
No.
Who did you come to?
Chisora.
Yeah, Derek Chisora, boxer.
Yep.
Don't know if you knew him or not. I don't know how much you're into boxing, Claire. That's all. Not everybody is.
I like a bit of boxing, actually. Yeah, I've watched it over the years. You know, all the big stuff. I wouldn't say I'm an expert, but I'm a kind of a sports fan, I would say.
Right,
sort of a passive sports fan.
Yeah.
You know, not into anything major. I've always been into rugby league, obviously, because I'm from Castleford, as most people know, and it's kind of in your veins. But yeah, I do like to watch the boxing, I've got to say. So I'm always interested when I'm seeing who you're mingling with. You know, it's always a bit of a buzz to see you. Oh, I know him. He's just mingling with the stars. So yeah, it's good. It's good. But it's really lovely to see that, you know, you're working together, like I said, in the same industry. You've got that trust. You respect each other's work, obviously, or you wouldn't work together. As individuals, then, what would you say that... so, in photography, I suppose you've got different styles, you've got different formats. So, you know, you're doing, like, the events and Chris, the branding. Would you say that that's where your real passions lie? What forms of photography do you really enjoy doing? Sort of, because you both stumbled into this sort of through a hobby.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
self-taught, really, which is bizarre.
No, zero qualifications,
None.
YouTube.
None,
University YouTube for me.
But I mean, that's an interesting point as well, isn't it? You know, there's a lot of kids now that are sort of going down that university route that feel that they have to be gaining some qualifications in something, but actually a lot of people you speak to are really achieving quite a lot in whatever vocation they've chosen are self-taught. And I think in this climate that we're in now, where we've got AI, we've got the internet, we've got YouTube, you can learn quite a lot, can't you, without having to go and get professional training and qualifications.
I do. I think if you've got an eye in the first place, I think there's a lot to be learned that means you don't have to go to university and study a degree. And
get in debt.
And get in debt. Yeah, I see people pick up an iPhone and some of the images they come out with are unbelievable. And that's because they've got an eye and detail for photography already. So with that little bit of self-training, self-taught, you know, some of those will become far superior to potentially anybody that's done a degree, you know, in university.
And then we get on to the topical subject of AI, don't we? So how do you feel about it? Do you use it? Do you feel that it's a good tool for a photographer, or do you feel that it's something that's going to come and steal your talent and your jobs? Yeah. How do you feel about it?
So I have pushed back on the AI a little bit, really, up until the last, you know, number of months, and I have started to really push towards it because it's coming and you need to use it as a tool. I mean, we say it's not been around for long, but how long have we been using, you know, Siri and things on phones, you know,
filters on?
Yeah, absolutely. It's been going on a long time, hasn't it?
We all love a filter, Chris.
It's how we choose, you know, to allow it to make our business better and easier. It's not going to go out and take the photos for you. It's not going to go out and make, you know, do the footage, the video for you. But I think it's making it a lot easier maybe to construct those things. I think where the detriment for us as videographers or photographers is that a lot of people are using apps on their phone to do their own socials and all that type of stuff. So I think that's becoming problematic for us, but maybe not for the business owners. I think the sadness, though, is that you can tell the quality difference a lot of the time. People seem to be a lot happier to put photos out and videos that the quality isn't that
lacking.
great. It's definitely lacking, but it's easy and it's fast and
it's cheap.
That's what we, I think that is a problem, that it is cheap and it's quick and easy.
But not got the standards that you would get from a professional.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a bugger. I look at a photo and the first thing I do, I pinch and zoom into it. And
you're a pixel peeper.
I'm a pixel peeper. And literally everybody's photos there. As soon as you zoom in, the quality just disintegrates.
Yeah.
So at first you go, oh, that's nice. But actually the quality of that photo that's been built there or the video isn't that great.
What about you, Chris, with the AI stuff? Do you embrace it?
I'm
You
all
were
over
smiling
it.
when I mentioned it.
I'm all over it.
Yeah?
I won't use my usual simile. But, I use it. I've got ChatGPT Pro. I use it to ask it, like, what do you think to this idea? What do you think to that idea? And honestly, it's like my best mate.
Really?
Talk to it all the time. Ask it about my personal life. Ask it about work.
I was thinking from a photography perspective.
Okay, well, I'm
just
saying that me and ChatGPT
You're like that.
We're on to something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're on it. Like, good things are going to come from this.
Do we need to get a new hat?
A new what? Hat?
For the wedding.
Oh, well, no. It's like, it's not really that much of a thing.
You're not that close.
We're doing all right. But, yeah, so I use ChatGPT for that. But then you didn't say anything about it. But in, like, Photoshop and stuff like that, it has AI. I use that all the time. Yeah. All the time. Put a circle around it, generate, bang. Yeah, that'll do. Nice one. Brilliant. Save me a load of time.
Right.
All the time. When there's, I don't know, a fire extinguisher, a light switch, a cable across the floor, bang. Ring round it, generate, done, gone. It must have saved me hours and hours and hours over the last 12 months.
Do you preempt that then? So if you think, if you're in a picture now, when you're staging something, you're taking a photograph.
I say, don't worry about that, I'll sort it later.
Right.
Yeah, I do. I think, I consider the powers of the AI and what it can do for me. Always, I will try and get it right in camera. Every time. If you can get it right in camera, get it right in camera.
Yeah.
But sometimes you're constrained to a room size, a room shape, time. Some people ain't got time to start moving furniture and stuff around, or cable's got to be there because they've got to have a projector on or whatever. And I just go, don't worry about it. I can sort it. And I would rather not, but it's like having a little backup, a little friend that I know has got my back.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I use it a lot and I embrace it fully. Obviously, there's downsides to it, which Antony's touched on, and like image replication and stuff like that. I think it's really bad that it's allowed to copy our images and recreate them entirely, even though that should be our intellectual property. But, yeah, I'm on the most part 95% on board with AI.
Interesting.
You have to be.
Yeah.
Because it's coming.
You've got to embrace it.
Don't fight it. Yeah, don't fight it. It's
you've
here.
Got to do. Yeah. You've got to let it work for you, haven't you? That's the thing,
So, I think we touched on, what do you offer as a photographer? What are your favourite bits to offer, I suppose? What's your specialism, I think, is what I'm trying to say. So if I'm a client looking for a photographer, why would I come to Kraft?
Okay, so I think the main thing I've done for 12 years is being, longer, able to offer the high volume printing. That's been a bit of a niche really for me, and the promoters have used me for years because of the high volume I can get through.
My stomach's making a terrible noise. I'm sure that was even picked up on mine. Tad hungry. Sorry.
So, high volume printing has been my thing, and that's because I can get through 400-500 people in an hour. So if you've got Tyson Fury there, he doesn't want to stand there for longer than an hour, really. That's a long time. We queue people up and I can get them through, printed in the hand, the people sat down in an hour. That allows that promoter to sell a lot more tickets at a higher price range. Right. So that's been really good for me, and everybody's wanted to use me because of the speed and the niche and being able to do that. The event photography side, what do I love doing? I love capturing moments. I love capturing people. I love capturing people when they don't know you're there.
Yeah.
And that's where it's spun to the videography. Just like to, capture those moments that we seem to both be able to manage to do that.
Yeah.
Moments and memories.
Quite well,
Yeah.
So I love photography as a whole, and I can, move into lots of different scenarios for it. But I do love the event style, fly on the wall documentation of people.
And that sums up Kraft. So what about Chris Whittam? We'll
Hello,
cut that
my name's
out.
Cliff.
So what about Chris Whittam Photography then? As a client, what would I be getting when I come to you?
So I think the biggest thing is, and I'm going to say it anyway, I think quite a lot of photographers are quite stiff and not very approachable, obviously apart from me and Antony.
Of course.
But I think that you know what you're getting. Like, I'm professional, but still I'm approachable.
Yeah.
And I think that that's really done really well for me. But I think that the consistency is I've always under promise and over deliver where I can. That's one thing. And then just like Antony was saying, like the passion of, I can just watch people now and I can see it in their eyes when they're about to smile. And I don't know if you've noticed stuff like that.
Absolutely.
And even when I ain't got my camera, I can just sit in a coffee shop and go, they're about to smile in about 3 seconds, because you can see it build up, and just little things like that. And yeah, I've really enjoyed like doing a lot of like the branding sort of things as well, and saying, right, if we did this and then that'd showcase that, and then you'd be able to use this in this and
product.
And I've become almost like a bit more of an advisor as well as a photographer, and sort of like giving a little bit more than just taking the pictures, sending them and saying thanks very much, see you later.
So it's having that eye as to how you can make something look as good as it possibly can, like even a product. Is what you're saying.
I don't do so much product photography. I mean, like even the beer stuff, it's lifestyle, as I call it, which is people sat, like I did one in a rooftop in London, and the sun was shining. It was for Sagres beer, and they brought a couple of models in, and it's product in its life exam, like in a bar, so stuff like that. And I'm just like, right, let's do this, and like we ordered some food in, and let's get all this out, and you do that, and then smile, and it's almost like becoming a director rather than just saying, right, okay, 3, 2, 1, click. Like I feel like I become the image, and like it's like a big story for me, and I just thrive off it, to be honest.
Having
I just
that vision and making it come to reality.
And then when I see it on Instagram, like, and you go on Sagres's thing and it's all my pictures, but they don't give me photo credit, I'm just like, this is great. I love seeing my work at work, and I post that quite a lot on my Instagram stories. My work at work, like doing what I got paid to do, and it actually out there. It's totally different seeing it like that than on Lightroom's screen. Seeing it actually doing its thing. Love it. I thrive off it.
So that's job satisfaction for you, isn't it?
Yeah, I love it.
What would you say job satisfaction is for Antony?
I mean, it's easy to go same as Chris.
Yeah.
But it is. It's putting something together that you see that image and go, I love that. And then it going out and other people showing the love for it as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
And going, and then coming to you and go, oh, those photos were amazing, I love them. And when somebody goes to you, I normally hate my photo taken, but you captured that so nice. And then you see them printed out in their office, in their own environment, that they've chose to go that next step because they love that moment. And it is about capturing those moments, isn't it? Those special key moments. And yeah, it's important. And that's why I think when we talk about the AI is not going to do that.
No.
AI is not going to go into a room and preempt that somebody's just about to smile, or those 3 people are about to come together there in that corner. Something's going to happen.
It's going to kick it off.
Straight away, lenses are there because you know something's going to happen. You're going to capture a moment. And AI is never going to do that.
Yeah, well, thank you for spending these moments with me today. It's been really interesting. I thought I knew you both really well, but I've actually learned a lot today. So thank you for being part of the We Are Wakefield podcast.
Thank you for inviting us on.
Find us at wearewakefield.org.uk or across LinkedIn, Facebook or Instagram.
You can find me at chriswhittam.com or on Instagram, Chris Whittam Photography.
You can find me at Kraft Media Services on LinkedIn, Instagram and Facebook.
Thanks for listening to the We Are Wakefield podcast in partnership with Podmatic. Hope you can join us for the West Yorkshire Conference on 9th of July at Pontefract Racecourse.